Okay, Venkata, I think we've hit the 2 p.m. mark. So shall we begin?
Yeah, sure. All right, let's get started. Fantastic. So thank you all for being here. We appreciate you taking your time and first off accepting our invitation to this webinar. It's your busy schedule. We appreciate it very much. We hope that you're keeping safe and sound as we're coming to the endemic. And we're really super excited to have you in this webinar where we're going to talk about focusing on improving patient experience and accelerating ROI through our HealthAI solution. So this is a joint effort by Intone, one of the fastest growing companies here in New Jersey, and also by our automation partner, Enterprise Bot from Switzerland. So just so before we begin, if you have any questions, you may ask us at the end of this webinar, and we will go ahead and answer them for you. And also note that we thought that we'd rather have this webinar more of a dialogue than a monologue. So we wanted to include some live polling. So you'll have some interactive polling coming your way during the entire course of this webinar from time to time. So please participate in that. And we'll also have, just so you know, this meeting is being recorded. And also for those who have joined in, we just wanted to let you know that there is a giveaway from us at the end of this webinar. Hema will talk about that at the end. So let's go on with the speakers for the webinar. So that would be myself, Venkata. So I'm Venkata I work as a data research analyst at Intone Networks. And that's Hema who's the product marketing expert from Enterprise Bot, and Nitin Kumar, who's the conversational AI expert. So that's what you can see down there are some fun facts about us, but that's true. So yeah, so it's been really, really wonderful working with Hema. So Hema, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, Venkata, super excited about being here today. And healthcare is also one of the passionate areas which I'm very curious about. And healthcare and AI coming together is really interesting. So very excited to talk about it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. And Nitin, thank you once again for taking your time as well.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And as you know, I always love to talk about the artificial intelligence, and especially in healthcare, where we would be able to help doctors, patients, administrative personnel. Why not? That is my cup of my tea.
Nice. Thank you so much, Nitin. So before we go into the webinar, guys, we just thought we will just look into the, just some good statistics. So we just saw that there are, from both the provider's perspective and also from the patient perspective, people are shifting towards telehealth. During COVID, that has shot up. And just a quick statistic from the CDC, just in the year, in the first quarter of 2020 alone, the telehealth medicine, the telehealth facility or option shot up to over 154%. And so you could only imagine what it is right now, after 2 years. So it must have quite tripled that amount. So this is from the both from the patient and from the provider's perspective. Now, specifically from the patient's perspective, the reason why there is a shift towards telehealth is because of improved convenience to access of care, and also better patient outcomes, and also a more efficient healthcare system that patients are looking forward to. Just another couple of quick statistics. If you know that there are over 40% of millennials today are finding this telehealth option very important and also very easy to use. Amongst the population of over 83 million of millennials in the US. When it comes to follow-up, there is over 80% of people are now wanting for a virtual consultation or virtual follow-up than an in-person one. So there are many such numbers that we were able to find through our secondary research that we conducted and we saw through that kind of substantiates what we're looking for, that people are wanting to go towards telehealth, and they are welcoming AI integration with healthcare systems. And also from the standpoint of the providers, right? So the main criteria that the providers are looking for to kind of implement telehealth is savings. So net cost savings is estimated at $19 to $121 per telemedicine visit. So just with that, we also, just to take a quick look at what we're going to talk today, we're just going to look into the survey results as to the small survey that we conducted from our primary research. Just wanted to see what are your peers in the industry looking for, and what is that they are, what according to them is are the challenges that they're willing to solve through health tech investments. And also we're going to look at how does conversational AI, which is the facilitator of this entire telehealth ecosystem, going to help us with the challenge. And finally, we're just going to look into see does intelligent automation actually live up to the hype. So just going into this particular survey that we did just a week ago when we got the results. If you can go to the next slide, we will look at the results right there. So we saw that 50% of your peers think that the number one challenge that they're facing, or the number one challenge that they want to solve through health tech investment, is the challenge of increase in operational costs in the entire healthcare industry, followed by 30% of them wanting to solve the challenge of time-consuming, error-prone manual processes within the healthcare ecosystem. And equally distributed, 10% people think that streamlining, they want streamlining experience. They want to streamline experience for better care management. And also another 10% want to increase patient acquisition and retention through better outcomes. So I'm just going to go ahead and hand over to Hema, who's just going to give you a synopsis of each of those challenges. And Nitin will come in and he will dive in to see how our HealthAI solutions can help address those challenges. So over to you, Hema.
Yeah, thank you, Venkata, for this, for setting this amazing context for the entire webinar, right? It's very true what Venkata mentioned about the survey results. And we wanted to understand if this survey result from the sample set that we took resonates with what happens in the industry as well. Is this what industry leaders are actually talking about? Is this where healthcare organizations are actually investing the money? And hence we went about doing some digging, and we found that, yes, in fact, the increase in operational costs for healthcare establishments has been the topmost priority for a lot of healthcare organizations. And with COVID, it only became even more of a necessity to have your operational costs in control, because the sudden influx of patients only meant that the operational costs also increased along with it. And just in 2020, more than $4 trillion were spent into operational costs alone. And out of this $4 trillion, 18% of them went only into administrative tasks, administrative process, which means that the money that's going into this administrative task is not really going to give any revenue, right? It's just going to be sunken cost. And this sunken cost amounts up to $8 billion. Now that's a staggering amount of money for one whole industry to lose to just because of operational costs. And there are a lot of factors that influence in contributing the operational costs. And some of them are having irregular inventory management, not having proper data storage, not being able to access the data. It could be a lot of different scenarios that contribute to the operational costs. And we've also seen that a lot of leading healthcare specialists or healthcare leaders and thought leaders of this space do resonate with this as a very important challenge that they're facing. And now, Nitin, I have a question for you. Do you think conversational AI could be an area that healthcare professionals can look into as a solution for this?
Definitely. And seeing at the sunken cost, the value, my mind is already blown, because what we have in form of HealthAI, and talking from a perspective for healthcare, the biggest three actions that are taken by patients on a day-to-day basis is booking an appointment, rescheduling an appointment, and canceling that specific appointment. Now, a rhetorical question to everyone hearing here. Are you still using manual agents? Are you still using a front desk to pick up that phone, answer to the queries, and handle these appointments? The answer, if the answer to any of those questions are yes, I would like to welcome to the Health AI, the demo that we are going to show now. Now, conversational AI is not magic in its own. It depends upon one data source, and that is your EHR EMR systems. And what we're trying to do is give you that power to utilize your EHR EMR systems to the complete 100%. And how we do that? I have got a very short demo from my counterpart, Emra, who's going to show us how exactly we are integrating with Epic Systems, which basically has 65% market share in Northern America for EHR EMR systems. And I'll just go ahead, play this, and we'll see how it pans out.
Hello, everyone. This is a short demo of Enterprise Bot Health AI chatbot solution, including the Epic integration. As you can see, our chatbot can be fully integrated into your own website with the same look and feel. It contains multiple UI elements, such as suggestion buttons for easy navigation, gallery cards, and much more. The fonts, sizes, and colors are all customizable. During the implementation, but also afterwards, you can easily adjust the styling of the Health AI chatbot. Today, we will specifically focus on the Epic integration. Health AI chatbot uses the API endpoint provided by Epic. This gives us the possibility to integrate with your own Epic environment. Let's have a look at the schedule an appointment flow. As you can see, there are no appointments in my MyChart calendar. I can now schedule an appointment by using the Health AI chatbot. Let's give it a try. I will now start a conversation.
This specific video that we're playing right now is very specific when you know your doctors, right? When you have been going to them from quite some time. So you know their name, you're already recorded on the MyChart application, and that is how you would be able to use this application.
With the chatbot and enter the requested information. The doctor I want to schedule an appointment with is Dr. Cardiology. When I click on the Book Appointment button, the chatbot will fetch the available time slots from the backend and show it to us. For each and every API endpoint, Epic defined some mandatory and some additional parameters. Based on this, we do the user authentication in the appropriate way. There are strict rules that we enforce in the context of privacy. As you can see, Dr. Cardiology has some time slots available. Let's select the free slot and proceed. We enter the details as requested and click on the button Schedule Event. The chatbot will ask us some additional questions.
Just to take a pause here, we also understand that patients' data, and I'm sure there are patients who are listening to us, the patient's data is of paramount for safekeeping. So we do on-premise deployment where all the data sets would be in your on-premise, but on top of that, we are SOC 2 compliant and we are also HIPAA compliant. As Venkat said in the initial call and when he started, that we are an Europe-driven organization. That means we take our GDPR and EUDP data sets quite seriously. And one such example would be shown when the user would input the phone number.
Let's enter the information as requested.
In case if you have an agent on the backend who's listening to these conversations or who's typing or who's going to give the answers, the data would be secured and it would only be passed on to your EMR EHR systems, which in this case is Epic.
Make the selections. And now the appointment is scheduled. Let's confirm the booking in the MyChart environment. As you can see in MyChart, the appointment is added for the same time. We also have the possibility to get a list of our booked appointments and even reschedule or cancel them. Let's try it out. This is the appointment we just booked. It again fetched the information from the backend and shows it to the user. We have the possibility to reschedule or cancel the appointment. Let's go for cancellation. Whenever we try to cancel an appointment, it will ask for a confirmation. After clicking cancel and confirming the cancellation, the booking will be removed from the MyChart environment. Let's verify it once.
So this was a short demo of how only 3 specific use cases or scenarios, which are booking an appointment, rescheduling the appointment, and canceling the appointment, can be done within less than 10 clicks. Now, just imagine you're sitting at your home, you understand that you have something coming up and you want to cancel your next appointment. What you would do, you can just go ahead to your Alexa, to your Google Home, and just ask, cancel my next appointment. And the bot or the underlying machine learning artificial intelligence would be able to do that just for you. And that is how we are going to improve the operational capacity by making sure that we are adding FTEs virtually to your healthcare providers, which would help you in handling these scenarios and many much of those scenarios, and also help in making sure that you take an extra care for the patient, giving them an ease of access of doing this activity. Now, Hema, I'm going to come back over to you and ask you this. Do you think if your hospital did this, would you be a bit more happier?
Oh, definitely yes, because it takes away a lot of my time. I can see how this could benefit the hospitals in terms of reducing the cost itself. But from the patient perspective, as you mentioned as well, this would really be helpful in if the doctors have all my information in the tips of their fingers, and I don't have to repeat myself for them to check up information about my historical medical data, I'd be relieved.
Definitely, definitely.
Yep. So thank you, Nitin, for that really neat demo, which showcased how easy it can be to book an appointment or schedule or cancel an appointment in just just from the chatbot, right? Or even through the voice. So it's really nice. I'm going to take a 2-second break here to ask all of you one question. So how many of you here use Epic? As Nitin mentioned, 65% of the market share in the healthcare industry for EHR and EMR systems are held by Epic. So are you in an organization that uses Epic? And if yes, have you already leveraged AI to intelligently fetch and share the information conversationally? Is that something that you have done in your organization? Okay, looks like we're getting the polls in. So I'm going to pause just for 2 more seconds for everyone to put in their votes. Okay, thank you so much. Looks like a lot of the folks do have something in place for this particular use case. Okay, and the next challenge that we would like to talk about, slide Nitin, please. Thank you. So the second top challenge that we have seen from the survey is that there are a lot of manual processes that are prone to errors and that take a lot of time. And this does not come as a surprise to me, because healthcare organization or healthcare industry as a whole has been late to digital transformation. So there are still a lot of processes that are done manually. And while all of these manual processes can cause operational costs, there is another side to it, which is it gives a lot of weak points in your system for errors to happen, and which can in turn cause breakages in your process, and in turn causing very poor patient experience or sunken costs like the previous scenario. So more than $20,000 per year, more than 20,000 forms per year are being filled even today in North American hospital. Not all maybe, but those who have been a little late to the digital transformation. And also the overall cost of the organization, of the healthcare organization, is being spent. The 38% of it is being spent into administrative costs. And as we saw in the previous slide, this is going to be a sunken cost as well. So Nitin, I can already think of a lot of areas which, as a patient, that can be automated and can be made my life much more easier, or any patient's life much more easier. Is there anything more, or can you maybe show some light on what those will be to use conversational AI in?
Definitely. Conversational AI is there to help every health provider, every patient. First, let's talk from the patient's perspective, right? If you want an urgent care, if your son, if your daughter, or if your wife or yourself is having an abdomen ache, what you would do, you would go to the nearest urgent care, you would go ahead, fill out 10 specific questions, have a conversation with the nurse, then go back to the doctor's cabin, where the doctor would go ahead, get some information from your EHR, EMR systems, and then give you a normal prescription, or give you the information that you require and give you the help that you require. What if we shorten that whole time period, right? How do we do that? By making sure that artificial intelligence comes in handy as the biggest L1 support that there is, right? And just to get some information, the whole booking point of view has changed. Where you would look through 10 different websites to book a specific shoe. And if you're new to an area, or if you're trying to get some information about a doctor, why wouldn't you like to see the doctor's face? Why wouldn't you like to hear some information about the doctor? And even in some cases, get some star rating, so that you on your own self have the belief that yes, the doctor would be able to help me. And how conversational AI and conversational commerce come in handy is a very simple example, where I would just go ahead and type, "I'm not feeling well," right? And I'll just go ahead, press enter. The first thing the bot would ask me is, where do I stay? Because if the patient is as naive as me, I would not know which doctor to go for help. If I'm having a chest ache, should I go to a cardiologist? Should I go to a nephrologist? I really don't know. So what I'm going to do is use the information and use medicine or medic API in this case, where I would be able to go ahead, click on locate me, or give my specific zip code into the when the bot has asked for that specific information. I can go ahead, suggest what I'm feeling, where exactly I'm feeling. So the thing that I'm going for with abdominal pain is appendicitis. And why is it important? Because I would be able to go ahead and give clearer information in terms that there's a mass or lump, the tummy looks visibly swollen, and from how many days I'm having pain, or in which area I'm having the specific pain. I can go ahead and input all of that information onto the bot, right? Once I do this information, and I've given all of this information, now it will be put in a very neat manner for the specific doctor that I'm going to choose from the list that is available for me in that specific hospital to go ahead and book a specific appointment. So when I'm booking an appointment, even before I have hit doctor's desk, or even before I have knocked on doctor's cabin, the doctor is already aware of the specific ailment that I have. The doctor is already aware what I'm feeling. And on top of that, artificial intelligence would go ahead, check the EMR EHR systems. And if I've had an operation for appendicitis, rule out that on the first basis itself, right? Because all of these information provided points towards a specific disease. But if you already had an operation, that disease cannot occur, right? And based on this, I'm not only trying to solve how patients are able to get the information about a doctor, but also reducing the whole time process where you would go ahead, have a conversation with specific nurse, fill out the 10 questionnaires, and make sure that the doctor is understanding of why exactly you're coming into his cabin. With this, we have been able to resolve and modify how Franciscan Health, a hospital care system in Northern America, was able to transform their whole journey and bring in 23% more patients as input into the hospital, just because they were able to reduce 15 to 20 minutes for for every visitation. Now, I would love if something like this happens and in my hospital as well, where I'm able to go ahead, ask the specific information, get the right knowledge, and go to the doctor that I like. Wouldn't you like that, Hema?
Yeah, I just needed a second to unmute myself, but yes, I do agree that. And it would definitely, as you pointed out, it would definitely make the process much more seamless. And for me, it's much more, it's almost like someone is asking me a question about the symptom and I'm just explaining it to them conversationally instead of writing it in a form or a more friction way of doing it, right? So I think doing it via chat is really better.
And definitely having these informations for visual aid, we had used chatbot, but in case if vocabulary or voice is your preferred option, you can go ahead and have a conversation as well, which would be in my case though.
Yeah. All right, so since we are running short of time, we still have time for the session to end, but we have some more things that we want to discuss with you. So let me quickly launch the other question that I have for you. It's a really short question. You don't have to spend a lot of time to respond to this. Do you think that automating manual process, just like the ones that Nitin just mentioned about, do you think that will really help your healthcare organization? Is that something that you think would help the current status quo of your organization? Perfect. We have 100% of yes, which means that that is a very real problem, just like how we saw in the survey and all the reports. So moving on to the next challenge that we have seen in this survey. This one is not exactly a challenge, but it's more about how do you challenge, what kind of challenge do healthcare organizations face when they reach the phase where they have to grow exponentially now. Now, what it says is providing streamlined experiences for better care management. But I think the key words here are better care management and what each organization defines as better care management for themselves, right? Because depending on the size of the organization, depending on the current patient experience that you're providing, you need to upgrade wherever you are, even if you are able to have absolutely no queues in in the hospital. If you have absolutely no friction in between, conversing with your patients in answering their questions, even then, is that enough care management? Can you do anything more? And 8 out of 10 clinicians feel that providing better care management can play a real crucial role in terms of differentiating themselves from the competitor in the market. Now, I do see this as a very valid point, but I really don't know what else could be done as better care management outside of what we've already discussed. So, Nitin, can you maybe give us some more examples?
Definitely. And before I give you examples, let me give you an astonishing number, right?
Okay.
We will, and reciting the same example, we were able to get 28% more people cancel or come to the appointment just because we were able to send them a specific message on their phone, on WhatsApp or email. We were able to send them a specific message, and out of 100, 28 people remember that they had an appointment, and it did not result in a no-show. Just us one single message. And that is how important it is to understand the human behavior, which artificial intelligence is pretty good at. The amount of conversations that you would have on chatbot, on voice bot, on email bot, would be able to record and understand how exactly the conversation between a patient and a healthcare provider works. And on top of this, this example is pretty close to my heart, just because my father is a veteran, right? And every 3 months, he needs to go to the specific hospital for the veterans, go get his medicine, and I stay pretty far away from him. The biggest challenge that I see is how we can automate this specific process. And for that, I have a very simple solution, which is refill my medication. We can always cascade it to have automated in case if you are tied up with a pharmacy, in case if you have in case the health provider have their own pharmacy, if you have your own payment channels, you would be able to go ahead and provide this special service to your patients' loved ones, And also with simple few clicks, which in case if I want to order the medicine for myself, I can go ahead, select my address, or I can change my address to provide my patient, or sorry, my parents' address, and go ahead and do the specific scenario, right? Based on this, I can go ahead, in case if you have, as I said, if you have a payment option available, the patients or their loved ones would be able to pay right on the bot. And with a single click, you would be able to get the medicine right at your home. Using this example, we would be able to sort out how much a prescription is followed. We would be able to send specific reminders that the doctor had asked you to meet after 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a month. Now, based on all of these examples, we are not only trying to help the healthcare providers, but give the power to the patients to be able to go ahead, understand how much medicine do they need, when do they need to meet the doctor, and give them a very simple reminder. And that has been able to change not many, but few lives, and being able to make their lives better is what I think HealthAI stands for.
For sure, Nitin. I mean, I'm able to visualize it just like you, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it as well, because we all stay so far away from our parents, but we are still so concerned. And as they get older, we are able to see that they're not able to remember when to refill, or they need someone to nudge them to follow the program that the hospitals are giving. And if the hospitals could do it themselves, nothing like it.
Yep, you couldn't have put it better. And also it provides them that specific branding as well, right? You being this
Yeah.
marketing product manager, you would understand how important branding is, and being able to showcase that, yes, we care about our patients. It's something that is on top of my priority, because the whole health AI works on ease of access for the patients. And definitely it helps the health providers too.
Yeah, that is true. So since we are running out of time, I would like to quickly jump to the next challenge, next challenge that we have. I think we can skip this poll. Yeah, thank you, Nitin. So because this is very important, right? I want to get to it while we have everybody here. So one of the areas which healthcare organizations think that that they should be investing in the coming years, or even right now, is in driving patient acquisition and retention. And this has become very relevant to now, because as we mentioned, digital transformation is peaking right now, and we're all using digital modes of doing things, taking care of our loved ones, or ordering something online, whatever it is, we're trying to do it online, right? Doing it digitally. So what happens if you are not able to be there for your patient when they're going to come looking for you? How does that miss out on patient acquisition, and how does this also add to the patient retention? So while as complex as I've made it sound, the fact of the matter is that 7 times of physical forms are still being used. And this is a place where, for example, if I want to check with a doctor, right, I would like to Google up the doctor that's closest to me and probably just book an appointment. So are you going to be right there? Are you going to be right there when your potential patient is going to be searching for a doctor in the area? That's what it boils down to. And over to you, Nitin, to explain us how HealthAI can help with this.
You couldn't have put it better, Hemam, because the health providers are spending many dollars on just search engine optimization so that their hospitals is on top. But what happens when a new patient comes onto their website? Do they need to go through 5 different landing pages, 15 different links just to find a specific doctor? No. With HealthAI, you would be able to give exact information that the user is asking for. Something like, I need cardiologist near zip code 46321, right? All of this, what a user would go through by clicking 15 different times, reading through 5 different pages, can be done using one single statement. And again, if voice is your preferred method, like me, please go ahead, tell Alexa, could you find me a cardiologist near my zip code? And Alexa would be able to do it. And again, I would not run through the same process of booking an appointment, but you can book an appointment, get more information, get specific requests in terms of if you have a report, you would be able to get that just via conversation. And that is how conversational commerce would be able to help patients and reduce the load on specific admin team for the regular calls about where's my data, where's my reports, where's my DICOM image that I'm looking for, right? And all of that information would be available in that specific small window or on your small device called as Alexa or Google Home. Hema, I think we really have talked a lot about. I think we should hear some of the questions if our attendees have any. What do you think?
Yep, looks like there is one question. But Venkata, can you please help us with the question?
Oh yeah, there was someone who's asking, what is the pricing model for the enterprise level for HealthAI solutions?
Right. Nitin, can I take that up?
Sure, please.
Perfect. So the pricing model is based on the volume. So it depends on the volume of interactions that you're getting in your healthcare organization. And we would love to understand more about, so it's more based on what is required for your organization, and we tailor the pricing according to, but it is based on the interactions and the volume that you have in your organization. Let me put my colleague's email address over here so that you can reach out to them and discuss more about it.
Thank you, Hema, for that. So could you also just talk to us about what makes HealthAI solutions stand out when there are so many other solutions in the market?
Yep, for sure. So there are a lot of AI solutions for healthcare, right? So where we saw Enterprise Bot as a great fit is that there are AI vendors, AI providers, and then there are health tech providers, right? But there is not a lot of businesses that provide AI specifically for health AI, or that's tailor-made for health AI. It's not a lot. So we thought that this is an area healthcare as an industry can really leverage from AI in their processes and in their customer interactions. But there were a lot of things that need to be done for healthcare organizations. For example, one would be about having enterprise-grade security, having compliance with HIPAA, having a 256-bit encryption and GDPR laws done for the solution that you're going to use is very critical, because data protection is extremely important when it comes to healthcare industry. So having a solution that has an enterprise-grade security plays a really big role in it. And we also noticed that the language is very important, because the patients range in different age groups, right? So we do not want to restrict the conversation based on a single language. Patients should be able to communicate their problems in the language of their own choice. So having a lot of options for the languages is also another important criteria of the AI providers for healthcare industry. And we support over 12 languages, and we also have linguists who can build the preferred language for even a single enterprise that wants to partner with us. Definitely. And yeah, there's just one thing that I would like to highlight, which is in addition to the AI layer that we're providing, right, we also have a really strong automation layer, which seem to really benefit our existing customers as of today. So that will be an addition to the health AI organization industry as well. Yeah.
And on top of that, everything is driven, and I say this because health AI is pretty close to my heart, that everything is driven so that the patient care can be improved by leaps and bounds.
Couldn't agree more. Cool. Thank you so much, Hema and Nitin, for your time. So, and thank you so much all for participating. If you all have any more questions, we'll just wait in to see if you have any more questions. If you just type that in.
Venkata, is it okay if I ask one final question to the audience?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So the final question would be about, would you like to know more about the solution that we just spoke about? we could talk to you, we could give you more information, we could maybe send you some more information for you to read about before you get on a conversation with us. Or we can jump on a call straight away and start talking about the exact challenges that you're trying to solve. So please go ahead and respond to the poll based on how you'd like to go from here. Okay, looks like a lot of people are interested in more information about HealthAI, which is great. So we will be sending a lot of information over to every one of you. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, just before we finish, there is another question from Niladri. What is the company's plan for onboarding new partners and resellers, the AI reselling product, pertaining to HealthAI?
Nitin, that comes right to you.
Well, again, the answer could be very straightforward, where we are always looking at new partners so that we can enable the healthcare systems, we can enable the patients to grow up more. We are definitely looking into areas where we would be able to go ahead and do a lot more in terms of handling DICOM images, handling a specific doctor-related arena, but we can always go ahead and send out specific email addresses of our partner team so that we can go ahead and have this conversation via email or on a specific call. And I would love to hear from you about what you think can be increased and how we can leverage HealthAI and make it a really good solution.
Absolutely true. And very specifically for the partners that we are looking for the reselling of our solution, that is something that we're definitely interested in. And let us reach out to you via email, Niladri, for this with more information. And sorry about that, that's my pet. So we will send you more information on how we onboard partners, and we're excited that you're interested in that.
Definitely.
All right, thank you so much, Hema and also Nitin, for your time. It was one interesting, informative session. I believe that there aren't any more questions at this point in time. But and so Niladri says thanks. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for participating with us. We will reach back to you very shortly.
Thank you everybody. That's my pet saying bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Pleasure having you all.
Thank you.